Oh, it's muted. Do I exist? Chat, please validate my existence. There we go.
Full PC crash?
Weirdly, it didn't crash. It just froze to the point I couldn't even control Alt Delete. So functionally crashed, but I had to smother it with a pillow. It didn't blue screen.
That was a beautiful analogy.
Let's try that again. Oh, let's not show that. That's terrible to look at. Excuse me.
Looks like AoE is all set up, we just don't have any AoE effects implementing it.
Okay. So AoE is set up and AoE effect is set up, but we just don't have any made?
Correct. So
Okay.
I don't think this will be too bad.
I think the most complicated thing for this one is we're gonna need something that happens on shoot. Since it has a % chance to just instantly destroy the projectile.
Yeah.
I'm starting to kind of understand why Binding of Isaac has everything tied to items. Because
I don't think it would make our job a whole lot easier.
it would and it wouldn't. The fact that it's tied to an item means that that item has an effect, and you're aware of the item that you have, and each item can just be its own thing, which is more robust in the sense of that now you need all of these items that have some form of, visuals associated with them and all of that. But on the other hand, you now have a finite library of things that do a specific thing no matter what. And they don't need to be flexible at all.
I don't know, their items do all sorts of crazy shit.
Yeah, but each of them does a thing. There's no, they're individualized. There's no situation where you have, what am I trying to say? With us having leveling systems and all of that, and since it's an effect that you level up, they have items that they can just restrict. Only one can spawn per playthrough, so they don't have to worry about stacking. Or they can just make stacking not do anything.
I don't think stacking is the problem that we ran into with our design.
No, what I mean by it is like every effect we've made has to be flexible, because it's not a script that gets applied when you pick up a thing. It's different types of interactions that aren't tied to anything specific, so you can get any combination of them at any time in any way.
I know your effect system is actually extremely similar to their item system, minus stacking.
It is in some ways. I think it's literally just that having items means that you don't need to have a system like this where it gets applied from a menu. It's more complicated because you have items that you have to keep track of in your system, but once you create that system, there's no reason not to just have a script for each thing that you're trying to do, and they don't need to try to make it flexible and subclassed and all of that, because they have a finite number of items that have a specific effect tied to it that gets picked up, so they can just tie everything to the item instead of to a central database of effects.
I'd be curious to see their code.
I know they made their own engine, so I don't think it is cleaner by any means. I think it probably took more time to develop, but I think it was probably easier to use just because you're just writing a script for the effect and then attaching it to the item. There's not effect plus effect container plus effect instance all with overrides based off of the individual like way that you're getting it, which is all a better way of doing it. But if we had items you were picking up and each prefab just had its own effects script, that would be a lot less complicated to put together, bar just keeping track of all of the items.
You're still gonna run into the same problem where you have to have like a bunch of lists with like on hit, on kill, on die.
Yeah.
Look through all your items to see which ones apply.
I imagine the way they did it was really dirty, but really easy to use.
That's my assumption as well. Ours is getting there on the ease of use.
Yeah, it's getting there. It'll get exponentially...
I think we can have this effect done in 30 minutes.
Yeah. The thing is, it'll get exponentially easier because there are only so many
effects
ideas we can come up with before they're just offshoots of other ideas. And so we'll have something that can be easily adapted to what we're trying to do.
We're going to be able to copy paste a lot of the code for this one.
Yeah.
Is Unity still dead?
Yeah, it's been on open scene for a minute now.
Do you want to just do it on my end? Or do you feel like you wouldn't learn it?
I feel like I might not take it away as well. Here we go, it's open. If it crashes again, then yeah, we'll just do it on your end. And I need to figure out what to do about my PC situation. I was looking on a PC parts picker, and it would cost me about $1,100 to build like
pretty good
a PC that's 3 to 4 times better than the one I have now.
Yep.
So it's not a lot of money, it's just a lot more than I can afford right now. If it was 200, I'm not confident I could do it.
Kickstarter may
Okay.
come in clutch.
What's that?
I said Kickstarter may come in clutch for getting a new PC.
Yep, that would be nice. But I've also got a friend who's gonna help me start with some freelance stuff. They're the one I told you were able to like quit their full-time job in advertising to make fan fiction for furries.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to them and I was like, I don't see why I couldn't make video games for furries for thousands of dollars.
Now that is a valid point. It'd probably actually be kind of fun and relatively easy.
Yeah, most of those are really simple. In fact, most...
It's like 99% art.
Yeah. Most games of that nature are made in RenPy, actually.
The hell is RenPy?
It is a Python tool that lets you make
What
dating
the
sims.
Fuck.
And it's literally... I mean, you know how easy Python code is.
I actually hate using Python. Python code is really easy until your project is more than like 200 lines of code.
But that's the thing. It's a dating sim, so it never needs to be.
Yeah, that's fair.
You have a button to advance it and a button to...
Yeah, it's a bunch of JSON files for the data, I'm sure.
Yeah. Doki Doki Literature Club, for example, is made in RenPy. The most complicated thing you ever have to deal with is branching into different types of dialogue or different lines of dialogue depending on like decisions, but even that, once you've set it up, is pretty easy.
Are you ready, kid? Is it ready to go?
Yeah, let me switch to Visual Studio opened this time. It was at opening that caused my PC to die last time, so...
We have a decent amount of work to do. Just do in Unity first.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes, let's start by creating the script for the scriptable object. So deal instant damage to all nearby enemies, including source. So deal instant damage to all enemies near source's explosion, but it has a 5% chance to explode on you instantly.
Yes.
Okay.
So it is an RPG where the rocket might explode in the barrel. That's pretty much it.
So we need in scripts, effects,
Effects, AoE, right?
Yep. Just create a folder AoE.
Come on, Unity. I asked you to create a folder. You shouldn't have to think about this. A folder is 1 byte, Unity. What is going on with my PC? Oh, Discord's dead. Fuck. Okay. Unity has been busy for 1 minute and 36 seconds to create a folder. I think we just have to do this on your end. Oh, never mind, it died again. Okay guys, I don't know if anyone's still watching the stream. If you are, I'm ending it here. Having too many technical difficulties. Hopefully I'll be able to get these worked out and go live again some other time. But it's just too much crashing, so thank you all for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry it was a short one. Hopefully things will get better with that.